Hello, my loves, and welcome back to BehatiLife YouTube channel. If we are meeting for the first time, welcome. And for those of you that are old friends and family, welcome back. As you guys can see from the title of today's video, we are going to be diving into the week ahead, although it is currently Tuesday that I'm recording. If you hear any noise, I'm just grabbing the tarot deck that I want to use and pulling up the charts that I'm going to be taking a peek at. I do dive pretty deep into the astrological transits, what it is that I'm seeing as I pull the charts in Behati Love Notes membership. So if that's something that you want to look into in astrology, the deeper dive is something that's important to you in guidance, Behati Love Notes membership is where it's at. Ooh, I've got a card that wants me to chase it in the meantime. The deck that I'm using will be linked down below in my Amazon storefront, as well as a few other magical goodies that you can find. Allow me to channel for you and talk about the energy of this week. What is it that we need to hear, see, feel, and face? Oh my goodness, clarify the Page of Wands, please. Ace of Cups, Seven of Swords, Four of Swords. Clarify the Chariot reverse, please. Clarify the Nine of Cups, Ten of Cups, Ten of Wands, interesting. Clarify the Eight of Swords, Eight of Cups, reverse, King of Swords, reverse. Clarify the Temperance card. Ooh, my stomach is grumbling a little bit. I just had the most delicious bowl of cereal. Seven of Pentacles reversed, the Devil card. Five of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so I do want to say it's really interesting that the Devil card has been showing up a lot lately, and it kind of leads me into one of the more major astrological transits that's happening this week, and that's the fact that Pluto has just officially gone retrograde on, it was either Sunday, I think it was Sunday. Today's the 6th, and if I remember off the top of my head, it was the 4th, but correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Pluto connects us to our shadow self. And I definitely am seeing that within the Eight of Swords happening here, and the Temperance card, and even the Chariot card reversed. These cards symbolize, let me go ahead and angle it down for you. These cards symbolize our, or if they don't totally symbolize the shadow aspect of ourselves, our inner demons, our subconscious beliefs, then they at least mention it and bring it up. And Pluto connects us to those shadow elements. And if you think that you are not influenced by your shadow self, you would be very wrong. Our subconscious brain is always speaking to us. It is always showing up as a filter that skews our way of the world. And that doesn't mean it's negative. It just is what it is. That's why it's so important to spend time exploring the shadow aspects or hidden aspects of your subconscious mind and working on peeling back the layers with that, because it will help you to see what you have like a, I don't say a weakness to, but like what you would be naturally drawn to, for positive ways or ways that could hurt and hinder you. If you have any type of hidden wounds that, especially with the Ace of Cups here and the Seven of Swords and the Four of Swords, parts of you that you're not fully aware of, or that you are aware of them but you refuse to face because they hurt too much, it's going to move you and manipulate you in a way to make choices or to say yes to no to things based upon you trying to subconsciously avoid them, or are you trying to subconsciously attract? When we're talking about healing the shadow aspect, it's important that you lean on others, right? Because we can't see our blind spots. If that was the case, they wouldn't be blind. We can't see we don't know what to look for. We don't know how to heal if we don't know that there's a wound there. Especially if your mind and your body is so subconsciously trained to look elsewhere. The reason why I want to lean into this message so much again is because Pluto is currently retrograde, and in the sign of Aquarius, there is a huge, these poor birds know that they can come and sit and have birdseed here, but I have incense burning and the smoke is like scaring them off. I've never had the incense blowing out the window before, so they're figuring this out. So I don't know if you hear. Okay, look. He keeps getting scared. Poor thing. Okay, but with Pluto retrograde, right? I forget what I was saying, but with Pluto retrograde, these traits, right, that we think that we have worked past or made improvements on, they are going to resurface. It's not a matter of if, but when. And directly opposing Mars, let me go ahead and show you. Directly opposing Mars currently in the sign of Leo, and Pluto currently in the sign of Aquarius, currently retrograde. And this red line here represents the opposition, just like the sun directly opposing the vertex point in the sign of Scorpio. And we have a full moon that's going to be happening directly. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is the sun here in the sign of Taurus. And the moon is currently right here in Virgo, going to slowly make its way through Libra into Scorpio. And that's when we're going to have the full moon. And why this is important, and I hope that this is making sense to you guys and that I'm not overwhelming you, but why this is important is because Pluto just recently went retrograde. And what planet rules Scorpio? What planet co-rules Scorpio? But Pluto and Mars. So this full moon is going to be really intense, and it's going to be unavoidable. The subconscious message that is going to be pulled, extracted, up and out, and you're going to want to be prepared for it. Now, this is not meant to frighten or shake or startle or give you a chill down your spine. That's never the intention of my YouTube channel. That's never the intention of my messages. I really strongly believe that if you're informed, you can know better. You could do better. If you understand the energy of the planets, you can work with them and not fall victim to them. There's always an opportunity to grow, to heal, to do better. And I really strongly feel like if we have blind spots, right? The Chariot card reversed and the Temperance card showing up upright. If we have blind spots, we can work to heal them. We can work to move past them, whether that be therapy, whether that be counseling, whether that be journaling, whether that be rereading your journals from years ago and seeing the past trends, past patterns, things that continue to resurface. Because when Pluto is retrograde, even in the sign of Aquarius, connecting us to detachment and pulling ourselves away, not to pretend like it doesn't exist, but to have a different perspective, to see things with a different light. Ace of Swords here. When we pull ourselves out, like away from being so close and interwoven in it, we are giving the chance to be able to see, to free ourselves of the burdens that it is that we are carrying. What I love, and also I'm just kind of like with in this reading for this week, is the fact that the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Wands is here. This represents emotional fullness and energetic fullness, right? Being so full that it's a weight that you are going to be carrying. And that doesn't have to be bad. It doesn't have to be so full of sadness that you just feel heavy, or so full of responsibility that it feels like a burden. It could be so full of happiness and so full of emotion, or so full with bittersweet energy that anything else would make the tears drop from your eyes. Have you ever looked at something that you loved or someone that you love so much, and you're just so grateful that any additional emotion would just make you explode because you're just so full? And that's what it is that I'm seeing with the 9 of Cups here. I feel like when the ultimate message here is, let's examine whether we like it or we don't like it, let's begin to examine the relationships around us and the patterns around us. Let's not try to change people. We simply cannot do that. They have to change for themselves. They have to choose to do better. They have to choose to move healthy. You can choose how much access that they gain to your mental and your peace. You get a chance to examine, you know, if you can't find what you're looking for in something or someone, you have the ability, the awareness here to pivot and to move differently. If there's something that is giving you anxiety and stress or something that you don't like within yourself, you have the opportunity to build a plan to change it if you are willing to look at it. With the Eight of Swords, it represents our worst fears or our limitations or our doubts. And it's not to say that those things aren't true. They're very real to us in the moment, but what helps to move us past those mental blockages is to take off the blindfold, take off the filter, the lens that we have learned how to look at it through, and begin to walk past it, examine it. And with the King of Swords reversed and the Eight of Cups reversed, there's a resistance to facing something, seeing something for what it is, and empowering ourselves to move, make a change, make a decision that reflects a healthier path. With this Seven of Pentacles reversed, the Devil card, and the Five of Pentacles reversed, I want to tell you, supporting the Temperance card, stop trying to make things work. If the ship needs to sink, let it sink. If the ship is floating because of all of your work and your efforts, then you will stay in a place, Five of Pentacles reversed, where it'll keep you locked in a position of lack or less or exhaustion or burden or burnout, because you're not allowing yourself to break free from this pattern, break free from this expectation. So your situation stays the same. You end up like the Devil card reflects, kind of locked in. Now, on the flip side, things may be working out for you, especially if you've been taking the time to reflect and to journal and transform. I love facilitating this conversation of positive and powerful transformation with my little circle there within BehatiLife Notes. We used to do it in Sacred Circle Tarot School, where the conversations would go so deep for so many years. I think a couple years or maybe 3. I don't even know. If you guys are members of Sacred Circle, please let me know. I think I created it in 2021. That's a long time to be consistently going live and having conversations to really begin to examine and unlock yourself of unhealthy patterns. But for the sake of the journey and the season of my life that I'm in right now, which is motherhood, I'm not able to go live in the way that I was. And I also have learned, looking back, how much I was really stretching myself to provide happily, but it's not something that I can consistently show up and do for forever. So there came a moment in my life where I'm like, you know what, I gotta scale back. But anyway, BehatiLife Notes, the journalings, the promptings there that we come up with, the rituals, the exercises, they're meant to awaken your transformation further. So if that's something that you're interested in, then definitely look into it. But just like we used to do over Sacred Circle, that's what we're doing there. And these are things that you can also do for yourself. If you have a mentor, a teacher, an intuitive, a counselor, a therapist, a doctor, a family member, a friend who just really takes you there, it will help to uproot you from places that you don't need to be steadily grounded in and rooted in, planted in, or it will water you. And I really do see that. Please pay attention to your energy levels. Page of Wands here reversed. If you have exhaustion, pay attention to it. It's interesting that the Page of Wands is reversed here. And then you also have the card of escape and Four of Swords, rest. So finding ways to restore, to fill your cup. And we have the Ace of Cup here, to fill that cup. This is the week for that. If you continue to push yourself, the Chariot card, the number 7 in the tarot deck, it's against your better judgment, right? You don't want to go too fast in life when you are burnt out. You don't want to keep pushing forward when you're burnt out. You don't want to overpromise and overextend when you are burnt out or burning out, or if you don't have direction. There's an invitation here to kind of sit back, not relax, but receive. Seriously, receive. And the reason why I don't want to use the word relax is because it does feel like there is some movement here. And it just seems like you're going to be filling your cup up. You're going to be gaining some wisdom, some information here. Everyone is going to be different, right? So the full moon is going to be inching up closer. And let me go ahead and show you here. Again, we have the sun currently transiting through Taurus, directly opposing the sun. We have Scorpio. The vertex point is a point of fated encounters and fated moments and points that change our lives forever. And this full moon is going to be almost directly in conjunction with the vertex point, this point of fate, in the sign that is actively transforming us when it comes to full expression, full authenticity, full joy, full life in the sign of Leo, because we have Mars here in Leo, co-ruling where this full moon is going to be. So those Mars is going to be activating this energy. And then Pluto, currently retrograde, that R represents retrograde, in the sign of Aquarius, the sign that has been changing us, evolving us, shifting us for the better future self. It's very much focused on the future and where it is that you are headed. It doesn't stay too much in the present unless it's like, fuck it. You know, that energy of just like, it is what it is. So if that's the case, if you resonate with that energy, that, go with the flow, pivot, dealing with things in the moment as it comes, and that's something that's comfortable for you, then you might really thrive with this full moon because you are already feeling flexible and having hope for the future and just kind of allowing things to pan out, But if you are someone who gets triggered by that, then you might have a little bit more of a difficult time. I hope this is making sense. Some of you guys might actually have, and I said I wasn't going to go too deep with the astrology messages here, but just pay attention. I'll just say this. Pay attention to Mercury conjunct Chiron over here on the side of Aries. It's really activating important conversations, important healing, things, again, that you hear, see, need to say, that change your life like 1,000%, or can actually trigger you or trigger others. So I will talk about that more in BehatiLife Notes, not to keep peddling it, but it really is an important service there that I'm offering. Let's go ahead and shuffle the deck and see what is going on with the Woodland Wardens. For those of you guys that are there in BehatiLife Notes, you guys know that I've been, or following me on my Instagram, I've been spending a lot of time looking at gators lately. It's currently gator mating season, and we've been going for walks in the park, and the gators have been so prevalent. It's been really cool. All right, let's go ahead and look at these cards. Wow, the trout and the lily of the valley connected to purification. That's so interesting. There's something here that really wants to be cleansed, and I have always looked at fish as fertility and abundance, especially when it comes to ample blessings and ample growth and being in the elements, the element of water and emotion and subconscious, and how our magic and manifestation becomes so abundant when we allow ourselves to lean into the water aspects, whether we need to have our cup filled, whether we need to sit with our emotions, feel our emotions, journal our emotions, connect with our emotions, whether we respect and honor the subconscious and our dreams and what comes to us through our intuition. So really pay attention to what is growing here. And I probably didn't say that enough And for that, I'm sorry. I want to take accountability. Like, maybe I didn't say that enough in this reading. As a Virgo, triple Virgo here, I tend to try and find the problem so that we can find a solution. But with always finding the problems, that can be really energetically draining, because it's just like, oh my God, Jess, can we just celebrate? I do want to say that with the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups here, there is the message here about amplification of your blessings, and the 10 of Wands, being able to hold that close and being able to appreciate it. And I think that's why someone here, many of you guys, are going to be feeling the fullness of this full moon. Seriously. Yeah. So then we have the Deer and Oat connected to healing. Yes. We can't heal something if we don't want to face it. We can't heal it if we don't want to look at it, if we don't want to address it. Here, I'll share a quick story with myself, about myself. The other day, and this could, I don't want to say TMI, but hopefully you guys are mature enough to handle this conversation. I'm a new mom and didn't want to breastfeed, believe it or not. I didn't want to be, I don't even know how to explain this without being judged by the internet. And I don't care about judgment, but I don't want to distract from the message. Okay, how about I'll say this. I wasn't expecting to breastfeed. I wasn't planning on it. But my body naturally took to it, and baby loved it. And it has been surprisingly one of the most bonding experiences, and that stunned me. Having said that, when I opened up the shop recently, the Apothecary, and started focusing on nurturing my shop and my orders, custom orders and oils and stuff, my breast milk supply started to dwindle. And that's just because your body creating milk and sustenance for a baby is a full-time job all by itself. And if your mind starts to focus on other things outside of nurturing the child, then it will slowly begin to phase itself out, because it says, okay, baby is nourished, and the body is kind of wired to adjust and acclimate to whatever it is that your mind is focusing on. So I said, and there's a reason why I'm telling you this, I promise. So I was kind of walking from the kitchen into the living room and maybe into the backyard. I was kind of like thinking if I wanted to go into the backyard. And I remember like laughing to myself, because I said, oh my God, like I'm going to choose not to face the fullness of the emotion of the fact that this part of the journey is over. I'm going to choose to be negative and not sit with my feelings on what that means for me, because everything is so new in motherhood for me. And I'm like, for something, I know that everybody says like it goes by in the blink of an eye, and it does. I don't want to say that I'm not ready for the next phase or the next stage, but it's just like, because I guess I am, but I just wasn't ready to address those feelings and emotions and accept it. So I was like laughing to myself. I'm like, I'm going to choose to be toxic, and I'm just going to I'm going to choose to bury this emotion and not face it, so that I can pretend like it's not happening. And then like years later, then maybe I'll cry and mourn. You know, I'll put that burden on my future self. She gets to deal with it. But yeah, and then I was just like, nah, Jess, you can't do that. We didn't come this far in our healing journey to go back, you know what I mean? So maybe that message will resonate with someone. And if you guys need to hear the happy end of the story, I'm still actually feeding her. All I needed to do was one power pump session, and my supply increased. So it's not the end of the journey for us yet, thank God. And I won't have to face those difficult feelings. So it's a win-win. But the moral of the story is try to, if there's anything here that you may be avoiding or overlooking, there's a bug from outside that just crawled underneath that little shell there. If there's anything that you may be avoiding, try to face it. At the end of the day, I would have faced my feelings. I would have had to sit down in the backyard, talk out loud, connect with spirit, light my candles, and begin the process of grieving the bittersweet journey that motherhood is, you know? And if it meant that I would have to do multiple rituals in the backyard, burning my candles, saying goodbye to the breastfeeding journey of my life, and then welcoming, more formula feeding and making her puree foods and stuff, then so be it. That is the reality. Oh my God, this little bug is on my temperance card. So, All right, next card we have here. It's so funny. We have the martin and foxglove connected to mischief. So I don't know if you guys know this, but foxglove is a very, 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 very poisonous plant. But in its poison, there's also medicine. This is not an invitation for you to try to experiment with it. That's not at all what it is I'm telling you. I'm just saying from my knowledge with herbs and flowers and plants. Foxglove is very, very poisonous, but it is also medicine. The medicine that is able to be created from the foxglove plant is something along the lines of digitalis, and it's a heart stimulating medicine, but in small doses, really, really small doses. In Western medicine, they were using the foxglove plant to help to heal the heart in really, really small doses, but anything too much would stop the heart. The reason why I'm mentioning that is I think that anything with balance can be good. With the Chariot card here and the Temperance card, anything in small doses can be good, and sometimes too much or too little of something can be bad. What does that mean for you? I don't want to answer that question for you. I want to invite you to explore that aspect of yourself a little further. If there are energies that need to be purified, pulled out, or things that you need to feel and express, this is the time to do it, or begin to prepare yourself for that as we inch closer to the full moon. All right, my loves. So this is pretty much the reading that I have for you guys today. Again, if this resonated with you, if this was helpful for you, please give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below which one of these cards speaks most to you right now. Is it the martin? Is it the deer? Or is it the trout? Let me know down in the comments. Trout, deer, or the martin, or lily of the valley, oat, and foxglove. And if these readings resonate with you and you would like to go deeper, more consistently, journaling prompts, rituals that I write out for my small community there, astrological predictions every day for the most part, unless something happens. But I've been pretty consistent. And deep intuitive readings, why am I saying BehatiLife? Like tarot readings, intuitive readings. Behati Love Notes is the offering for you. I'm going to link that down below. Until then, you guys, if you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please consider it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.